Chapter 1. Clara. As I walk to the library, I am struck by the serene beauty of my surroundings. New Haven is a picturesque town with a close-knit community. Nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, it boasts charming tree-lined cobblestone streets and historic buildings. Today, the sun filters through the leaves, casting a dappled light on the sidewalk. I smile at the familiar faces of townsfolk as they greet me.
Good morning, Clara.
Mrs. Thompson calls out, waving from her front porch. She's knitting as always, her needles clicking rhythmically. Good morning, Mrs. Thompson, I reply, waving back. Her presence is a comforting constant in my morning routine. As I approach the library, my heart swells with pride. The New Haven Public Library is my sanctuary. It's a place where I have poured my heart and soul into creating a haven for book lovers, giving its name a double meaning, which I love. The old brick building stands tall, ivy creeping up its walls, giving it an air of timeless wisdom. I unlock the heavy oak doors and step inside, the familiar scent of old books and polished wood enveloping me. The library is quiet, the only sound the soft hum of the air conditioning. After flipping the sign in the window to open, I make my way to my desk, glancing around to ensure everything is in order. The shelves are meticulously organized, each book in its rightful place. Just the way I like it. My first task of the day is to check the returns. I head to the return bin, a wooden chest that looks like it belongs on a pirate ship. I open it and start sorting through the books. As I scan each one, I can't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. Each book represents a story, a journey someone in our community has taken.
Clara, do you have any new books on local history?
A voice asks, pulling me from my thoughts. I turn to see Mr. Roberts, the town historian, standing by the desk. His gray hair is neatly combed, and he wears a tweed jacket that looks like it's seen many years of use. We do indeed, Mr. Roberts, I say with a smile. We've just received several books that you might find interesting. Follow me. I lead him to the back of the library, where we've recently set up a dedicated section for books on New Haven's history. It's a project I spearheaded, hoping to encourage more people to learn about our town's rich past. Here we are, I say, gesturing to the top shelf. These here are the new books, including some rare finds I think you'll enjoy.
Thank you, Clara.
Mr. Roberts says, his eyes lighting up as he peruses the titles.
You've done a wonderful job with this.
I beam with pride, watching as he pulls a book from the shelf and begins to read. Moments like these remind me why I love my job so much. As the morning progresses, more patrons trickle in. Mrs. Peterson comes in with her grandchildren, who rush to the children's section with gleeful squeals. I help a young couple find a guidebook for their upcoming hiking trip. Each interaction, no matter how small, feels meaningful. Around noon, I decide to take a short break. I step outside and sit on the bench under the big oak tree in front of the library. The tree is a favorite spot of mine, its branches providing a cool shade. I pull out my lunch, a simple sandwich and an apple, and savor the peaceful moment.
Clara, there you are.
A voice calls, breaking my solitude. I look up to see my best friend hurrying toward me. She's carrying a large tote bag, and her curly hair is bouncing with each step. Hey, Emily, I say, smiling. What's in the bag?
Just some new books I thought you'd like to see.
She replies, plopping down beside me.
I picked them up at that little bookstore over in Millport.
We spend the next few minutes going through the books, discussing our favorite authors and recent reads. Emily's enthusiasm for literature is infectious, and I find myself getting excited about the new editions.
Clara, have you ever thought about writing your own book?
Emily asks suddenly, her eyes twinkling with curiosity. I laugh, shaking my head. Me? Write a book? I wouldn't know where to start,
You've got so many stories to tell.
she insists.
You've lived in New Haven your whole life. You know this place better than anyone.
Her words linger in my mind long after she leaves. Writing a book? It's an intriguing idea, but one that seems far beyond my reach. For now, I'm content with being the guardian of other people's stories. The afternoon passes in a blur of activity. I help a group of teenagers with their research projects, assist an elderly man in finding a large print book, and chat with Mrs. O'Malley about the latest mystery novels. Each interaction is a thread in the tapestry of my day, weaving together a picture of community and connection. As the day draws to a close, I begin my evening routine. I check the shelves one last time, making sure everything is in its place. Each book, meticulously arranged, reflects the order I strive to maintain in the library. But tonight, something feels off. As I pass through the aisles, my eyes catch a gap where there shouldn't be one. I stop in my tracks, a chill running down my spine. The space is in the rare book section, a place I hold dear. My heart pounds as I quickly scan the surrounding shelves. It's not just one book missing, but several. Rare, old volumes that we've painstakingly collected over the years. I rush to my desk and grab the ledger, flipping through the pages with growing dread. Each entry is neatly recorded. Every book checked out, every return marked. I double-check the recent returns, hoping to find a mistake, a misplaced entry, something. But every borrowed book has been returned to its shelf. Where could they be? I mutter to myself, anxiety creeping into my voice. I head back to the shelves, combing through each row, every nook and cranny. I even check the reading areas, hoping that someone might have left the books there, but they're nowhere to be found. A sinking feeling settles in my stomach. As I lock up the library, my mind races with questions. Who would take these books? Why? I walk home, the usual tranquility of New Haven, doing little to calm my nerves. The soft chirping of crickets and the gentle rustle of leaves only amplify the unease gnawing at me. I arrive at my cottage, the warm glow from the windows, usually so inviting, now feeling overshadowed by the mystery at the library. I prepare a simple dinner, but my appetite is gone. I sit in my favorite armchair, the comfort of my books surrounding me, yet I find no solace. What am I missing? I whisper into the quiet of my home. The night passes slowly, my mind refusing to settle. I hope that sleep will bring some clarity, but it's a restless night filled with fragmented dreams of missing books and a burning library. The next morning, I wake up early, determined to get to the bottom of this. As I step into the library, the familiar scent of books and polished wood does little to calm my nerves. I begin my usual tasks, but my mind is elsewhere, replaying the events of yesterday. The morning goes by in a blur of activity. Patrons come and go, unaware of the turmoil brewing within me. Around noon, as I'm helping a young mother find a book on parenting, a stranger walks in. He's tall, with silver hair and a kind smile. His clothes are slightly rumpled, as if he's been traveling.
Good afternoon,
He says, approaching the desk.
I'm looking for a few books, but first, I'd like to get a library card.
Of course, I reply, forcing a smile. Welcome to New Haven. I don't believe I've seen you around before.
No, you wouldn't have. I just moved here.
He explains.
My name is Henry Thompson. I'm a retired journalist from New York City. Looking for a quieter life, you know?
I nod, feeling a flicker of curiosity. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Thompson. I'm Clara Harding, the librarian here. Welcome to New Haven.
Thank you, Clara.
He says warmly.
I've heard wonderful things about this library. It's one of the reasons I chose to move to this town.
That's lovely to hear, I say, feeling a bit of my tension ease. Let's get you that library card. I hand him the form, and as he fills it out, we chat about his move and his work as a journalist. He seems genuinely interested in the town and its history. "What books are you looking for today?" I ask once his card is ready.
I'm particularly interested in local history and old newspapers. Anything that can give me a sense of the town's past.
We have a great selection in our local history section, I say, leading him to the back of the library. As we approach the shelves, my heart skips a beat. The space where the books should be is glaringly empty. My stomach drops. "They were just here," I murmur, more to myself than to Henry.
Is something wrong?
He asks, noticing my distress. I don't understand, I stammer. "These books were here yesterday. They're part of our rare collection."
Are they missing?
Henry asks, concern in his voice. "It appears so," I reply, my mind racing. "I checked everything this morning again. These were all accounted for. I don't understand how they could just disappear." Henry looks at me thoughtfully.
Have you considered the possibility of theft?
The word hits me like a cold splash of water. Theft. In New Haven? It seems unthinkable. Yet here we are, staring at empty shelves where precious books once stood. I need to look into this, I say, my voice shaky. "Thank you for bringing it to my attention, Mr. Thompson. I'm sorry I can't provide the books you're looking for right now."
It's quite all right.
He says gently.
If there's anything I can do to help, please let me know.
"Thank you," I managed to say, my mind a whirl of confusion and worry. Henry leaves, and I stand there staring at the empty shelves. The reality of the situation sinks in. Someone has taken these books. But who? And why? I spend the afternoon trying to piece together what's happened. I speak with other staff members and go through the records again, but there are no answers, only more questions. The day progresses as usual, patrons coming and going, books being borrowed and returned. But I can't shake the feeling of unease. Every time I pass the rare book section, the empty shelves mock me. In the late afternoon, as I'm helping a young girl find a book for her school project, I see Henry Thompson walk in again. He smiles as he approaches the desk.
Hello again, Clara.
He says warmly.
I was wondering if there's any update on the missing books.
"Unfortunately, no," I reply, trying to keep the frustration out of my voice. "I'm still looking into it,"
I see,
he says, his brow furrowing.
I was hoping to find some other books in the meantime. Perhaps something on journalism?
"Of course," I say, leading him to the section where we keep books on media and journalism. I hope these will be helpful. As I help him browse, my mind is still on the missing books. Henry notices my distraction.
Clara, are you all right?
He asks gently. I'm just worried, I admit. These books are irreplaceable. They're part of our town's history.
I understand,
He says sympathetically.
Perhaps I can help. I've dealt with mysteries before in my line of work.
I appreciate that, I say, feeling a glimmer of hope. Any help would be welcome. He smiles reassuringly.
We'll figure this out, Clara. I promise.
His words offer some comfort. I cannot think of anyone who would steal from the library, Mr. Thompson. Henry nods thoughtfully.
Mind if I take a look around? Maybe a fresh pair of eyes will see something. And please call me Henry.
Please go ahead, Henry, I say, grateful for his help. As he walks through the aisles, I can't help but feel a small flicker of hope. Maybe, just maybe, we'll find something.